Jacob. He's not even making any noise. Will you put that away? Please, thank you.
That's going that way. That's going that way. Ah! Now you're making noise.
Don't touch it. No touchy.
Ice water.
Your ice water is right there. I already had it made for you because I knew you wanted it. Today I'm going to show you, or I'm going to attempt to show you, how I'm going to replace something that broke. My clothespin bag. It's probably 5 or 6, maybe 7. I don't know. It's old. I think I got it from the Dollar Tree. We've replaced the hanger in it because the other one broke. It was left outside by my children on the clothesline last year. And it got wet. And I didn't know it was out there. So it got wet. And I thought, oh well, it's still working. So I took all the clothespins out. I took the hanger out. And I washed it because it was yucky. It was still stained and mildew, moldy, whatever. It's not moldy, but anyway, I bleached it and cleaned it, and it was fine. Well, this year, it did that. So it's dry rotted, and it's in sad shape, and it's starting to do it on the other. Ooh, it ripped some more on the other side. So it's time for a new clothespin bag, but I don't want to go buy one. So I started looking in my stash of crazy stuff that I have around the house. And I found this camouflage cloth. I have a bunch of it. This is just what we cut off. We cut off a 16 by 25.5 inch piece. And what I'm going to do is, well, I got the cloth. Found this old hanger I've had probably 20 some odd years. I don't know how long I've had it. But this old hanger that we never even use, but it's sturdy. It's got wood on the inside of that little satiny stuff. And we found that, and we never use it, but I've kept it forever. Don't know why I've kept it, but I just have. So we're going to use that for the hanging part. And we looked around, and I found some little eyelets. I think that's what they're called. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, eyelets. Found some of those. And we're going to attempt, I don't have the little tool to use to put it together, so we're going to attempt to do that too. So, we cut our piece of cloth, 16 by 25.5, and then measured the distance of what you needed for the hanger to stick through, and marked it. And my husband, he was doing it, and he had measured it like this at first, and I don't know, he knew what he was doing, but I don't know what he was doing. I still don't know what he was doing. But anyway, he measured that, and it was like, what, 8 inches, something like that, from the outside to the inside, because this is 16 inches, but we do have to have some little seam on the side. So after that, and figured out, we marked on both sides, and then figured out how much we needed to sew the hanger inside of this. He folded it over and measured how far down it needed to go, and now I'm going to sew a little, I guess it's a hem, I don't know, it's not a hem, it's just a little, so it won't ravel out. So now I'm going to, after I have this folded over, and I'm going to stick a pin in that spot where I need to stop. I'm just going to put a little stitch down that on each side. And I'm just using a straight stitch. I'm not using anything special. I'm not a seamstress. I don't know all the technical terms. I know a few terms, but I don't know a lot of stuff about sewing. Everything I do know, I've pretty much taught myself or picked up by watching others doing it, but I've never had anybody actually train me, and I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but I get it done. So I'm going to sew this now. so that part is sewn. I have a little cutter thing down here, but I hadn't quite, this sewing machine's not very old, I hadn't quite figured out how to use it yet. So, I guess that's how. So now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'll put my little pin in to mark my spot where I need to stop. So, well, actually I'm going to start there because I'm just going to go the opposite way. So I'm going to take the pin out. So I'm going to start there and sew that side. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is the hole, well, not the hole, but the little eyelet. Okay, now I'm going to use my little leather punch tool to put a hole into the cloth. So the way I'm going to do that is put it on the area where I need it to be and tap it until it goes through and then twist to make sure that I get the cloth cut. Well, it didn't cut it all the way through, so I'm going to tap it just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, got it then. And let me see if I can find the spot where it needs to go. Now there's a hole. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this through one side. I'm going to put this through on the other side. And I'm just going to tap them together because I don't have the proper tool to do this with. And I don't really care how it looks as long as it's functional. But it's holding, and my hanger will fit through it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is put my hanger inside, and I'm going to lay it down onto my table, and I'm going to put a couple of, like, just a pin or so in here just to hold it in place to where that I can sew this without having to think about it moving or anything like that. So I'm going to just pin it. And now I'm going to sew across here to hold my hanger in place. Now because this hanger is curved, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to sew, but I'm going to get it done. And you're going to be able to see the hanger. I don't care about that. So I'm going to put it in here. And I'm just doing a straight stitch, so it's not like it's a difficult stitch or anything like that. But I'm just going to start sewing it. And the next thing I'm going to do is hem this side because it's going to be seen. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a hem in it, not much at all, just a little bit, just to hold that, to make it look better. Oh, I got my thread caught. But okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold right sides together all the way up to where I had sewn the hanger in. I'm going to sew that together now on each side. Okay, now both sides are sewn. And flip it out, right side out. And you have a clothespin bag. You just stick your clothespin in there. Help if the clothespins weren't in another bag. Drop a few in the floor. Now when you're out at the line, you can just hang it on the clothesline, and whenever you bring it back inside, you can just hang it in your laundry room or whatever. And you have a functional bag that didn't cost me anything because I already had all the stuff. Now, I did use some thicker type of cloth, and I used a tight stitch so that it would stay, but drop it. All the stuff that I used, I already had, but you could probably do it for just a few dollars if you didn't have the stuff. It wouldn't cost much. I wouldn't use a plastic hanger though, because I don't think it would work really well, because we actually thought about doing that. And when I say we, I mean my husband, because he helps me with a lot of the projects that I do. So he can like take something that I want to do and figure out how to do it. So that is my cheap clothespin bag to replace my broken clothespin bag. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Share this if you like to. Comment down below if you have some certain way that you do clothespin bags. I have actually seen people do it with like children's clothes and stuff like that weren't using anymore. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.